lot today, but we got let's see, I've got a virtual Laura. So here we go.
Welcome, everyone. First, I'd like to do a bit of housekeeping. Feel free to unmute yourself when it's your turn to speak. Please be mindful of everyone else by muting yourself while others are speaking. You're welcome to put any contact information that you want to share into the chat. We meet here to share deals, look for deals and solutions we have in need with our real estate. We are not your financial advisors, attorney, or accountants. We do not endorse or recommend any specific solutions or contractors here. You're advised to do your own due diligence to your own satisfaction before you invest. The first Friday of each month is Ask the Attorney with Ms. Catherine Davis. Our meetings are typically recorded, so only share what you want others to know.
Okay, thank you, virtual Laura. Let's see here. Okay, Jay, looks like you put something in the chat here. Would you like to, you could go ahead and just talk to us if you'd like to do that.
Yep, I just put my regular stuff in there. I'm a private money broker. I look for funds for fix and flips, fix and keeps, and refi and reboots. I also look for funds for commercial and multifamily. Matter of fact, anything that has to do with real estate, I can find your funds for. So let these Roman fingers do the Roman for you. Also, I'm looking for fix and flips anywhere within the St. Louis area. Doesn't matter how bad they are, as long as they're not crumbling down and falling apart. I can usually work with anything. So you can give me a call at 636-338-1246. Once again, my name is Jay Roman, and I just gave you the wrong number. The right number is 314-513-1982. That's the best number to reach me at. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jay. And that's 314.
That's correct.
Okay, good. Yeah, good to have the right number. I see you typed it in there too. So
yeah,
thank you. I see, Steve, you had a question there about tenant stuff. You want to unmute yourself and tell us what you got there? If you can. I don't see you, but I see your name there. Stuff left by tenants. I guess we could ask Stacy, you and Dave, what do you guys do with the stuff?
I'm going to let Dave chime in because I'm not super involved with the day-to-day stuff, but I think it depends on if they were evicted or they just left at the end of their lease. I think that matters when we're talking about that specific question.
Yeah, it does. So are you talking about when they leave and just leave all their stuff there?
Yeah.
It just goes to the transfer station, just gets dumped. If they leave it and their lease is over and they're gone, we just take it and dump it. So, and charge them for it. So, or put it on their tenant ledger that they owe for the work to do it, the trailer rental, and the fees for the dump station, transfer station. So, it's different for evictions depending on the municipality or the county. So, you got to check with your local sheriff and how they do it. Here in Cape County, we put on the curb, right? Sheriff comes with us. They say, tenant, you need to leave. And then we empty out the house and put it on the curb. And here, the sheriff stays with us until we're done. In St. Louis, last time I did it in St. Louis, which has been quite a while, they came, made people leave, and then everybody left, and we were free to do what we wanted to do at that point. So actually, we all locked up and left, and came back a later time to clean it out.
She lived halfway, and she agreed that she's not going to move back in the property, and I can take it over and have lots of beds, almost 3 or 4 beds, and all the furniture, all utensils, and freeze full of the things, and you name it, and you got it,
So one of the
she
things
said
that
verbally, yeah, you can take care of whatever you have to, but it's not in writing.
one thing you have to be careful is make sure that they're absolutely out. The lease is over, because we did have a very costly situation where we knew the tenant, the lease was not up. They had another couple of weeks to go to the end of the month or the end of their lease, and then we knew they had moved to Kentucky and went and cleaned it out. And they came back a few days later, said, "What happened to the rest of the stuff we had? We were coming back to get it, and we ended up having to settle for an amount to cover the cost of what they had, because had we waited until the end of the lease, then we could have done it and it wouldn't have been a problem. But we tried to get ahead of things and moved in when we assumed they were out, because they told us they were moving to Kentucky and they were gone. So.
Well, how'd you determine the amount? Did you guys negotiate, or was that just an amount you set, or was it their
Oh
idea?
my gosh, it was pretty interesting. There was junk in the garage, and they were trying to, like one of those little pools that, plastic pools that you can get at Dollar General, I think. They tried to inflate that amount and took us to court and sued us for that. And so the judge had to make a determination. We gave our evidence and what the junk was worth, and they had some old barn wood, and they're trying to claim that's the grandfather's, barn, and had sentimental value and all that. And so
Heirlooms.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah, Kathy's talked about that before, because it's amazing all the antique jewelry and stuff that turns up if you're not careful on how you do it. Now, I got a question though, Dave, for you. Did you, when the sheriff was down there and you moved the stuff out, and do you have a separate charge? You say you put that charge on the ledger. Do you charge them for taking the stuff out and then for going and storing it, if that's what it is, a separate charge, or is that all just one fee, or how do you do
No,
that?
it's separate. I mean, it's the labor to remove everything. It's the cost of we have a trailer, and we don't give it out for free. So we rent it out. So we have a charge for renting the trailer, and then take it to the transfer station, which is and then they charge us for the weight of it. So we just put that on the tenant's ledger.
Okay. Have you ever collected that money after the fact?
Rarely.
Rarely. Okay.
Yeah,
If
rarely.
they want to save their credit, maybe, or save their next.
Yeah. Oh, all of a sudden they're buying a house, and right.
Yeah.
We've had that a number of times where people come years later and they're at the point where they're trying to buy a house, but they've got this on their judgment, so they pay it off and get that cleaned up.
Yeah. Yeah. My experience is judgments you collect about 1 out of 100.
Yeah.
So I don't know what yours is, but I've got one actually now coming up where people left. They owed us about a little over $7,000. We put a lien on their house they ended up buying, and now that's going in foreclosure. And this is from like 2006. And so it'll be interesting to see what comes up out of this.
So the bad part is when they do that and they come back years later and we no longer manage that property. Right now, if we still manage the property, I can take my management fee out of it, because I have a contract with the owner saying I get so much % of any income they receive. If I no longer manage that property, it's like, okay, I have no contract. I can't take my management fee that I was due to begin with. And so I just sign the check over to the owner and go, "You're welcome."
Oh, wow. Well, I guess you get brownie points is what you end up getting, but no cash. Huh?
Yeah, no cash.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, you guys probably screen them a little bit better than some of the average individuals, so you probably don't have that come up as much as a lot of people do without the experience.
Well, it still comes up. I mean, it's going to happen. We've got 600 units. That's about well over 1,000 tenants, right? And so we still get it. And no matter how diligent you are with your screening process, something's going to slip through the crack. Or we've had tenants that have been great tenants for years, and all of a sudden situations change, and then they no longer can pay their rent, or divorces or whatever. But yeah, out of the 1,000 tenants that we have, I don't know how many evictions we don't do. I haven't gotten to sign eviction, gotten lawyers to sign anything in a couple months now, so that's a good thing.
Nice. Yeah, that's very good out of 1,000.
Thanks.
Mhm. Well, good luck with that, Steve. Let us know how it
Thanks. Thanks.
how
Yeah.
it turns out.
It's a mess.
Mhm. Mhm. Good advice too. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Thank you. I
That
appreciate
really
it.
helps
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else got any, I guess, tenant things? Or Stacy, would you like to just tell them about your services? I know we just kind of touched on that, but or Dave, either one.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey everyone, happy Friday. Stacy Lowe here. I'm with Soto Property Solutions. Myself and Dave are both licensed realtors in the state of Missouri. Our company specializes in property management though. So we have an office in Cape Girardeau and then also an office in the St. Louis area. So if you have any investment properties that you're looking to give someone else the workload on them, we would love to take them off your hands. We do everything for you from start to finish. The make readies, the turnovers, the marketing, the photos, the showings, the screening. We hold the security deposits. We do move in and move out inspections in regards to the security deposits. We do all of your accounting, which you would get a statement monthly and at the end of the year. And we oversee and handle all of the maintenance as well. We have a lot of contractors and vendors that we've vetted and have relationships with that we use on our properties. Also have some in-house technicians that do some work for us. So yeah, we just do it all for you. Make it pretty easy for investment owners. So give me a call or shoot me an email if you're interested in finding out any more information. I'll put my info in the chat too, but my office line 636-305-3380, and I am extension 311. And my email is Stacy, STACY, at Soto, SOTOPS.com. So Stacy at SOTOPS.com. Thank you.
Thank you. And let us know when you get one of those cool videos out again, too, the next one. I don't know if you guys have watched any of her videos, but I think she put a couple of them on our Facebook page on the St. Louis Real Estate Investors Association. So they're pretty entertaining. So if you want to have a good laugh and go see them, I would recommend it. All right. Anybody got anything they're working on besides Steve there? Fortunately, we don't have anything like that right now. I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago that somebody had cloned a company that I have and then put a property up for sale. I actually hired a realtor and got him to go out there and take photos and all that. That's still not 100% resolved, although I was able to get the ownership back on Zillow. That took a while. That was kind of a mess. So one of the things that I might just ask that that you guys go take a look at your properties, look on Zillow, and if you don't have ownership in your name, go ahead and claim them, because that will just kind of deter people from doing that. But if somebody clones your property, and I know in Nevada is where mine happened, and that's for because they wanted to remain anonymous. There's still ways to find out stuff, but the Attorney General in Missouri, it's really tough to deal with that. So there's still kind of, it was nothing. Fortunately, nobody bought the property, but and I do have that sold now. I'm selling that to somebody else, which it's a little bit. I can kind of fill you in on that as it goes on. Once that gets done, I'm doing some owner financing, and this is to a guy in New York, and he's doing some other things with it, just with somebody here in St. Louis. So, but just look at your properties. And one of the other things I found out through this process here is a attorney down in actually Park Hills in the Farmington area. He gave me a deed of trust, and what I'm going to do, and you may want to look at doing this on your properties depending on how many you have, but I'm going to probably put a deed of trust on all my properties with one of my other companies to where nobody can actually transfer that. And even though it's a little bit of paperwork up front and filing and that kind of stuff, and I'm still the one that would okay that through my other company. So I'm looking at this is a little more complicated. I never even dreamed of doing something like this, but I'm putting liens on all my properties with a deed of trust. So that's just a little safeguard. I don't know if that's completely going to do away with any of this kind of stuff, but that's something to be aware of, because if somebody gets some non-refundable deposits on one of your properties, and in this case, I never thought they would do that, because Heartland Hideaway sounds like a unique name, but apparently there's at least two of them now. So anyway, just thought I'd let you know. a little update on that. So anybody else got anything for sale or anything? Anybody there working on anything? Anybody looking for anything? I see Ryan there. Have you came up with anything in your Illinois property?
No, can you hear me?
Yes.
I have a few new ideas. I just was on another RIA and going to make contact with somebody who had a building like mine, and they developed it into like in a small town too, and developed it into like small office rental situation. It looked really good, so I'm going to consider that also as an option. But for my little building, my brother's building in Vandalia, which we call South Central Illinois, we're still looking at for mine climate control rental, just while we get some funds available for perhaps moving it into like a restaurant situation. And then for my brother's building, obviously it can go a couple ways. Sober living house is a good idea. And then, or bring it back to where it was with, 17 units for the restaurant. So still working on that.
Well, it sounds like you have some good possibilities there. That's coming up. I know one of the things we looked at a few years ago is because of all the commercial properties that are available in some of the smaller towns, is doing like a shared rental, kind of like what you're talking about here, where each one of the businesses could pay a small amount and use the have their own little office where they could meet clients, but also have like a conference room. I know they've done that in some of the bigger cities where everybody can meet and maybe have a lunchroom and some of that kind of stuff. So if you just had a little closet size, office, but you do have a commercial space that way. Because I know some of the construction workers and some of the other businesses, were doing that, but then they need sometimes a place to meet. So you could have a big area with tables and sit down with your clients and that type of stuff. So it sounds like that might be what you're kind of looking at right there.
Yeah. And just so you know, the reason why I kind of fell into this niche is because there's a couple of exciting things. It's a tiny town that has these big major federal employers around. So it's got the big prison, Graham Prison. It's got Patton coal mine within 5 minutes, and then the new Vistra power plant, which took over the coal plant, is now a field of solar panels, and it's got all those employers around that, right? And granted, politics brings money in and out all the time, except for the prison. Prison's pretty solid. And there's nothing in the town to really take advantage of all these folks running around everywhere. I mean, there is we have Casey's. I'm sure you guys have them around there. Casey's convenience stores and a Dollar General, and that's kind of it. And so if I had like a good restaurant going, or like office space, coffee shop kind of thing for them to meet, it would serve that kind of group. So yeah, still working on the situation to hopefully take advantage of that. What I think I need, John, is somebody who has that kind of rental experience in doing those kind of development projects. We have the property, we can offer that, but somebody who already has experience to come in there and take a position on the property and do that kind of development, or we just sell outright. I mean, that'd be really ideal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have a lot of possibilities with something like that. I like the idea of a coffee shop because that kind of brings people in there. And I was kind of surprised at some of the smaller towns I've seen lately with the coffee shops and even those drive-through coffee things, and they're packed all the time. That just kind of surprised me. I didn't realize so many people would wait in line to pay $3 to $5 for a cup of coffee. But like the ones that I think there's two of them in Farmington now, and they're packed no matter what time you drive by there. It just really surprised me.
Yeah, John, it's one thing I love about the small towns is you can really take advantage of the culture, of what people want and what they want to do. You make anything interesting in these small towns that have not had anything exciting for a decade, they will swarm to it. And my brother's building, thank God, when I first started working with this building years ago, there's this empty shop right across the street. And I thought, well, that thing's not gonna do well. Somebody bought it. They had TIF money. They put, I think, $350,000 into this small little shop, and now it's Shelley's Burgers. And I was down there just for 3 days, a month and a half ago, and it was absolutely buzzing. In a very, not incredible traffic, but reasonable traffic, say 9,000 a day, and they were just packed. So, that's the kind of situation I want to try to do in my building, which is just a little bit farther north.
Shelley's Burgers sounds pretty unique too.
Yeah, right.
It sounds like a little bit better burger than just pulling off the highway through McDonald's or something.
Yeah, and they'll work. They've been so polluted with name brand bigger chains that anything like that, mom and pop will just draw them in.
Well, maybe you should start a Ryan's Dollar General.
Well, what I'm going to do in Facebook, maybe I could present when I get it fixed up, I'll present the link here. And what I'm going to do is just start develop the idea and see who can hook into the idea and maybe take it off, take off with it. But I'm going to do I'm going to do layout. My background is construction management, and I work with a lot of architects, so I do drafting. And so I'm going to draft out the layout. I'm going to tell them my plans. I'm going to do a cost estimate. I'm going to show them where this could go, and a few aesthetic ideas, and then all my references, and I'll see what people can learn from that, and then hopefully somebody just grabs it and says, yeah, I want to do that.
That sounds great, Ryan. Can't wait to hear what you end up doing with that.
Yeah, I'll try to have the link ready for next time.
That'd be great. Thanks. All right. Who else has something for us today?
I got something if nobody else does, real quick.
Sure, David.
Cool. Sorry, I'm driving right now. I'm actually taking some pizza to my contractors to for lunch today. So, but for the house that I'm going to talk about here, actually. So, I've got a 2-bed, 1-bath, about 800 square feet. It's up in Breckenridge Hills. It'll be ready in about 3 or 4 weeks. So it'll be a turnkey rental, very good cash flow. The door or there's a house 3 doors down that rents for $1,400. Although I think that's a little high, but I think $1,200 is very reasonable for the street that it's on, and we're asking $125 for it when it's ready to go. And obviously we'd be willing to deal a little bit if he knew we had a buyer lined up for it. But it'll be ready to roll. Everything's up to code and low maintenance, for moving forward. And yeah, so it'll be ready to go here. So if anyone's looking for, a turnkey rental that cash flows really well, let me know. I can put my number in the chat. I'm an agent as well, so if you needed help, leasing it out or anything, you can always, ask about that too. But yeah, that's where I'm headed right now. And if you wanted to come check it out or anything, I'd be happy to come open it up and let you check it out. Or if someone's looking for an extra tax benefit at the end of the year, yeah, just let me know. I'll put my number in the chat.
Okay, could you also give it to us verbally? Also, please, David.
Sorry, one more time.
Your phone number or your contact information. Could you also say that for us?
Yeah, because I'm not gonna type it in while I'm driving, but yeah, my number 618-214-1599.
Okay, yeah, please don't type it in while you're driving. We like to have it verbally just so people watching the replay can get it. So, all right, that's Breckenridge Hills. It's a 2-1. It's going to be turnkey. 125 is what you want for it, and the rent approximately about 1,200 in about 2 or 3 weeks from now.
Yep. And then another question I've been asked before about it was, well, how come you don't just keep it if it's that good? Everyone wants to know that. And the honest answer is that it's just our real estate business right now is we need a little bit more capital in our in our bank account. So we're trying to provide a service on the other side of things where, you know, we want to, like, we have a couple rentals, but we're just not doing rentals right now. So we're just trying to flip a little bit and make some more capital and provide that service to somebody else.
All right. So you're looking to recapitalize to propel your business.
Yep.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good opportunity for somebody that has Breckenridge Hills. All right.
Yeah, John, I've been on and off, so I didn't hear everything, and I got here late.
Sure,
Did you have any luck? Because we had emailed each other that you had a ticket for the convention in Cincinnati. I've still got one available. I haven't heard from anybody, so I guess if I don't hear anything in the next couple hours, I'll probably call them up and tell them they can have it back. That way they could give it out to somebody who might be able to make it. But I was just on a call this morning with the REIA GC, which is the Greater Cincinnati Real Estate Investment Association, where they have a swap thing every Friday morning, unless there's something else going on. Now I lost my train of thought. They were saying that they had actually usually overbook. They've got room for 800 people, but they have sold or given away whatever, somewhere in the neighborhood of almost 900 tickets. But they expect that 100 people will, at the last minute, not be able to show up because of 6 kids or whatever. So they always have to deal with whether they sold too many tickets or didn't sell enough. But if somebody was wanting to go there, I've got an extra ticket, and I know other people online have been trying to sell some of the tickets too back, because maybe they've decided that they can't go, for what that's worth. So I don't know if anybody out there is interested in that at all. In Cincinnati next week, I guess is it Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, maybe Sunday too. They've got 30 different speakers and all that, and it's, you know, they can look it up online. I don't remember the exact link to that. If they wanted to go from Vina, I think Dave Randolph is driving there. If anybody needs to catch up with him, he talked about doing a carpool a couple weeks ago. But I just figured I'd pass that on in case anybody wants a ticket. And if they need any more than 1 or 2 tickets, I think I might be able to connect them up with some people who are trying to sell them for what that's worth.
Yeah, what's the best way to get a hold of you, Bruce?
314-742-1810, or my email address at brucestotler11@gmail.com, and I guess I'll put that in the chat also. But yeah, it's starting next Thursday. There's not a lot of time, so I guess technically maybe I'll wait till Monday, since I'm just talking about that now, and some people may catch this video later. Although I don't see the recording button in the upper right here for some reason. But yeah, in case somebody else gets online, it's kind of interested. But like I said, unless you've sold yours or given it away, you've got one, I've got one, and there's some people online who were, I think, trying to sell them, or maybe, I don't know whether they wanted full price. They were saying barter or trade or whatever, getting into the barter system about that. So, yeah, let me put that in the chat.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. No, we don't have ours. We had an extra VIP ticket, but yeah, we don't have that no longer. And yeah, Laura and I paid full price for ours. We paid like $500 for the VIP a piece. So this is a good opportunity for somebody. It's at the Great Wolf Lodge or something. It's right outside of Cincinnati.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it's the longest going real estate convention in the country. And it's a non-sales event also, which is the way Venus set it up, which I really like. But it's a lot of some of the top trainers in the country. So I don't know what the situation is on the rooms left. I do know somebody else that's going that is not staying at the lodge because they couldn't get a room there because they were booked. But I think Vina might have 1 or 2 that opened up. She was talking about the other day, so that's very possible. So you can find out. But yeah, Bruce, if he does have a ticket, if that'd be a good opportunity for somebody. It is kind of a last minute, but not really. I mean, It does start. We're leaving. Laura and I, we're going to drive there, but we've got some other stops. But we're leaving on Wednesday, and then we're not coming back till the following Monday. So I believe the conference actually runs Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then part of the day on Sunday too. And there's a lot of extra things too. There's some meet and greets and some special things that they're having, some breakout sessions. There's a lot of speakers, and I know one of the reasons we upgraded ours just to the VIP is because we wanted the recordings too, because they have sometimes several speakers at the same time. And a lot of times, you know, you'll want to see more than one, and it's kind of hard to do that with that. But fortunately, we have the recordings now, which is great. So good opportunity for somebody. Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah, I think mine's a VIP ticket. I got it through their radio program. I don't remember if I sent you the email. Some of the things got mixed up in my email system. And I think I even a week or so ago saw somebody trying to either sell off or give away the access to the Great Wolf Lodge if it's still available. I don't know. That was a week or two ago, so I might be able to look up some information on that if somebody also wanted that kind of information.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Anybody else got anything they'd like to share with us today?
Just got a quick question.
Sure, Eric.
Who will be the speaker for next month's meeting?
They're talking about having a panel. It hasn't been decided yet, but it will be probably by Monday. But they're looking at having a panel for next year. This is the last meeting at the Moolah Shrine Center. And then next, there is none in December, but then opening up in January, they'll be meeting at the Lodge in De Pere. It's at right at, I don't have the exact address, but it's right on Manchester and 270. So it is a new location. So make sure you don't show up at the other place. All right. Anybody else? I see Bruce has his info in there. Thank you, Bruce. And then David's got, yeah, there's the info on the house in Breckenridge Hills. That's 3321 Dix Avenue. Yeah. Oh, and then Ryan, let's see here. You got your Facebook Family Time Properties LLC. All right, we'll have to look you up there. Thank you. What town is that again that you have that property in Illinois? If you don't mind sharing it.
Yeah, that's in Coffeen, Illinois.
Coffee.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, I found out that also the storage situation is there's a storage rental right there in Main Street across the street, and they're filled. So I think last week I was talking about climate control storage option temporarily for my building, and I think that's a good idea. I think that'll work.
Yeah, that makes a difference on the climate controlled. I know that because I know Scott Meyer, who does that, does the education on the self-storage. I remember a couple of years ago when he was in town, he was talking, they had a couple of people talking about the ones that were outside and then the ones that were climate controlled inside. And it's quite a difference on the amount you get and what in the setup they have. I know he did a bus tour that we had while he was here, and we went and looked at one that it was kind of a mixed. It was, I believe in Spanish Lake, if I remember right, but it had about half of them were climate controlled and half of them were just regular. But I learned a lot of stuff I never knew, like on the ones with the garage doors and stuff. They have a little, a special, like a lip or something to keep the moisture and the rain and the weather and all that out of there, which, I mean, there's a lot more storage than just setting it up and, you know, having a place to put your stuff. So, and then they sell insurance and there's all kinds of little add-ons you can do. I mean, that's a whole industry in itself. And it was a big learning curve for me. All right. Anybody else?
Oh, another quick question, John.
Sure, Eric.
A while back, I asked you about you going to have like a speaker for land trust. Anything on that?
Land trust. The last one we had was Dan Bryan, and he was supposed to get us some more stuff, but he hasn't. I'll find out about that. But other than that, we don't know what the schedule is for next year. That's not all been decided yet. So just as always, just keep in touch. You can come here every Friday for any updates we'll give you, or you can always go to STLREIA.com. So. All right. Anybody else? Everybody's kind of quiet now. Waiting for Halloween. Everybody got their goals done for the end of the year. I was on a meeting this week, actually yesterday, and already talking about setting up stuff for next year, which I think is a really good idea because a lot of people wait till the end of the year, and then they kind of get through the first part of the month of the year, and they don't really get everything done, even though they got some ideas. But this is really a good time to plan everything now, and you can make adjustments for the next month or so, because we don't have that much time left this year. Today is like the 299th day of the year. So just keep that in mind. We don't have much time left.
Oh, I got one more question.
Sure.
I forgot to ask. What I'm looking for a person to come by my house to determine the age of my roof so I could turn that into my insurance company. Anybody know anybody of that? Because I just had a new roof put. I had a roof put in like let me see, about 3 years ago, and the person that did my roof is no longer in service anymore. And so I forgot, I lost my copy of the paper that I needed, when he actually did it. So what I need somebody to look at my roof to determine, the age of the roof. So that way I could turn into my insurance company, to lower my deduction. So anybody like a roofer could determine, look at my roof to determine the age of it.
I don't know. You don't have your paperwork?
No, I misplaced it somewhere. And the guy that did my roof, he went out of business. So I can't get a hold of them. So now I need I need somebody just to look at my roof, determine the age of it. That way I can turn it into my insurance. It's my private home.
Yeah, I don't know. You may try a roofing company. I don't know. I don't know what they would charge to come out and give you a breakdown of it. But anybody have any ideas for Eric? No, you might want to just call around some roofing companies and maybe try some people close to your house to see how that would go.
Or maybe a home
Yeah,
inspection.
I don't know if Scott
Home
Winkleman
inspection.
would be able to do that for him. Scott is like, a private small time guy. He does all sorts of stuff, but roofing, I think, is one of his first things he likes to do, because he can do patches and all that. But I don't know if he may be able to tell the age for Eric. Scott Winkleman, I don't remember if we've got him listed somewhere in our system. He shows up every now and then on the calls here, but let me see if I can find him real quick.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think Dave, you were talking about a home inspector. That's probably your best bet, Eric. I don't know what they would charge just to look at the roof. I know typically to get everything inspected, we paid around $500 or $600, but you get a really good, thorough printout of everything about your house. And I know that I would, that's a good way to when you're buying a house or sell or people that want to, are selling them sometimes. Um, but I know the inspector we had from St. Louis County, I don't know if he won't crawl up on your roof. I was gonna say, because he's done some for a couple of our members inspections on other things, and he typically charges $100 if he's in the neighborhood. But he said he won't, I remember him saying he won't crawl up on your roof. I think you'll need to get, like Dave said, maybe a full inspector for that. And that's probably who you ought to look at. Other one, let's see. We had
Yeah, I just put Scott's number in the chat if you wanted to look at that real quick. And I guess I can read it out loud because, like you said, the chat doesn't persevere. Scott Winkleman, 314-807-8004.
Okay, I got it. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, and then here I got Pete Klarman too. He's done full inspections. He spoke with our group, I think it was a year or so ago. I can give you his number too if you'd like, Eric. That's 314-477-5552. He mainly does full inspections, but I don't know. He probably would have some ideas on a roof if that's all you want.
Hey, John, can you put it in the chat for me?
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, anybody else got anything? There you go. All right. Well, a lot of good conversations today. Looks like David's delivering his pizzas to the workers. That's always a good idea. I meant to compliment him on that. It never hurts to buy them lunch and do some little things like that, because the little things can make all the difference in the big things a lot of times. And there's so many people, especially when you get workers and stuff, that a lot of people like to criticize rather than compliment, even if they did a good job. I know one of the things that we did with our build that we just got done with is we did buy them lunch a few times, and the other thing that Laura wrote him some little notes, some little thank you notes, and we'd slip them $100 in there, sometimes just 20 or 40 or whatever we had, sometimes just to say we want to buy them lunch or buy them a soda or something. And the little things make all the difference. In fact, one of the comments that we got was people have given tips before, but they've never given cards. They're not used to getting cards. And the one guy just had it on his dash for the next couple of months. Whenever he showed up, he still had that thank you card on his dash, which it doesn't seem like much, but I know you go to the dollar store and you get like 6 cards for $1, those little bitty thank you cards. And it doesn't hurt to have some of them laying around. So just a little thing you could do. But buying pizzas, if they don't have to stop, and especially it helps you in the long run, because if they don't have to stop right in the middle, all they have to do is stop and go eat a piece of pizza or eat something from the pig down in Fredericktown or something, some pulled pork or something like that. They like that a lot better than them having to stop, even if they brought their lunch and having to go out, or they have to go out and buy it, and that takes time off of the job site. So all that little stuff can make a huge difference for you in the long run. Plus, they'll remember you as being maybe the good guy rather than just a homeowner that complained about everything. So anyway, I was glad he brought that up, and we'll have to make sure we mention that to him next time. And I'm sure he knows the value of that. All right, anything else today? We got our favorite part of the year coming up, next week, like Bruce mentioned, we do have the OREA. So any of you guys going, we look forward to seeing you there. I will not be on the call next Friday because of that, but Lloyd will be here and he will run it. And then other than that, we'll see you the following week. And every other week, there's one other week I will not be here this year. I will be in Los Angeles at JT Fox event, and that is on the 22nd. So actually, if anybody's interested in hosting that, I don't know. I'm not sure about Lloyd yet, but I could talk to you about that. If anybody would like to host our Friday meeting, it's a lot of fun. I will tell you that. I wouldn't miss it for the world, except I'm missing it for that event because I'll be in a session with it. That's going to be a pretty big session too. There's like 1,500 people already scheduled for that. So that's the Mega Success event is what he calls that. So my coach, JT Fox, some of you guys know him because you've been around us for a while, and he puts on a big, huge event every year. Last year we were in New York. This year it's in Los Angeles. And I think honestly, I'd rather go to New York, but it's not up to me. So anyway, it's a lot of fun traveling though. And this is this is Orange County, which will be interesting. So if I can be on a Friday call, I will. I know the time difference is always strange. I used to always like going out to California because when you go out there, you gain a couple hours flying, but when you come back, you like lose a half a day. So it's a kind of a funny experience going out there and back. And one of the things I know when Laura and I first got together, I used to travel a lot to Los Angeles and actually Palm Springs and a lot. And we'd get out of our conferences at 10 o'clock at night sometimes, and I'd go to call her, but it would be midnight here. So I always had to be very conscious about the phone calls. I'd call here during my lunch break and she'd be done with work. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's a whole different. I know Eric, you travel out there to see your mother in California. It's just a different. You got to be kind of situationally aware of the time difference because it is a big difference.
Well, John, I'm in California right now as we speak.
Oh, are you? Okay. Well, it's only what 9:49 there. So yeah, you got to get up a little bit earlier to see us in California. So, well, you have safe travels out there, Eric, and we'll look forward to seeing you when you get back too.
Well, I'll be back on Monday.
Okay. All right. Just in time to go to Ohio. So maybe you might want to connect with Bruce and get your ticket. No, the OREA is always a good, it's been going on for like 30 plus years. It's always a great event, and there's a lot of good speakers there. I'll kind of let you know in a couple of weeks what we came up with, but there's always good takeaways and good networking too. A lot of, you can see a lot of this stuff online and, even if you get the replays but it's just something about being there and actually seeing the people in person. So always good. All right. Anybody else got anything today? I guess we could call it a day. I appreciate everybody tuning in. It's good to see y'all. And a lot of good conversations. I'll have the replay up by midnight tonight. That's always my rule on YouTube. And it's usually on the website in the member section by Monday. Usually I'll get it sent off to the webmaster, but they're on different time zones. And a lot of times they don't get it done till the weekend. But if you need anything in the meantime, it will be there and you can always reach out to me. And if nothing else, it's good seeing you all. And I guess we'll see you next week. Thank you.
All right. See y'all later. Bye.